Hey, we are back again for another PTO chat. It's Christina. I'm Christina Heidick, and with me is Karen Joyce. And today we're going to be talking about tempering expectations, because I think with new leaders especially, they have pie in the sky expectations, and then when reality kind of sets in, they can feel, oop, I'm kicking things down with my hands because my crazy hand motions. They kind of feel defeated. And so I just want to talk about that because I don't think you should be feeling defeated at all, ever, because I think anything you're doing is going to be good and positive. So do you have any initial things to say, Karen, on this topic? It's kind of wide.
I think as a leader, I heard something recently in a nominating committee that I thought, oh, that was kind of a light bulb moment. And it was talking about who are your willing workers and who are your passionate PTA peeps. Like, there's different people bring different levels of excitement and willingness to like jump in and take things on independently. And as a leader, kind of knowing that, look, I've got Sally who really is going to show up and manage that cash box and sell the t-shirts at our event, but she doesn't want to, research the newest, latest, greatest fundraiser and bring that back to the board. So they kind of, as a leader, tempering knowing that people bring their own times and talents to the table, and not everybody is going to be a PTA nerd like we might be.
Yeah. Because I think that's true. I think that's hard because you're like, don't they care? They do, just in different ways, or they have different things going on. So, I think, So I think one of the things is like identifying success too, and like naming it and claiming it, because especially new leaders who have no idea of how things are going to roll. And also, given that there seems to be a new reality post-pandemic, I'm not saying we're totally out of the pandemic, but you know what I mean. Just coming out of, we're more headed to full normalcy here. Like, just because your meeting rooms aren't packed or overflowing, your membership roster isn't the highest it's ever been, that doesn't mean that you're not making a positive impact on the school. So I think it's like looking for the small successes and knowing that you're laying the groundwork for something more positive is really worth celebrating and acknowledging.
Yeah, I think that's right. It is hard because you do see the things that tail off. I think especially right now, you're like, well, we did this before and now we're unable to do, or you think of things in the deficit rather than in what you've actually included to the school. Because if we weren't there at all, none of this stuff would happen. Even the smallest little things that we're doing, those students wouldn't have the benefit of even this year. So yeah, I think really celebrating, it's hard. I don't think we do that enough. As like, hey, look, this was a great event, or this was, something that wouldn't have been there without us.
Yeah. I know years ago when we were doing the lower elementary carnival, we would celebrate by going out to a bar to have some adult beverages. Now, not everybody had, I still don't drink really. I was pregnant or breastfeeding for way too long, Karen. Just got out of the habit.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you don't drink? And I was like, no. They're like, you should. You would chill out some. And I was like, maybe, but I love having all of my intensity. Anyway, but we would go out, and that was like a nice way to do it, like on a low, kind of a smaller scale, to where everybody was just invited, but not everyone could come. So, because it was a long day, because we would literally like put all the stuff away and then go have dinner and then meet out like later that night. So it was a very long day, but it is a nice way to celebrate something like a bigger event that took a lot of energy to organize. But
I think PTA amnesia is a real thing too, because we go from event to event, from week to week, plan to plan, and you forget all of those little wins along the way. And I think being intentional and looking back and going, hey, look where we spent our money throughout the year. Look where we spent our time. And when you look at the totality of that, I think it's way more impressive. You go, oh, I forgot we did these things at back to school time, and we gave these things to the teachers, and all of those little things we do along the way, we kind of forget because we're moving on to the next big and baddest thing that we're doing.
That's right. We're too busy doing, or too busy doing to take a step back. Yeah, I think Does your group do like a year in some or a summary, an annual summary that you put out to parents to kind of let them know, like, this is what we did this year, thanks to your help kind of thing?
We did a good job of that last year in the middle of the year because we were rolling that into our membership drive. And so we wanted to still kind of increase our membership even though it wasn't the back to school season. And so it was like, here's our midway through the year progress report kind of a thing. And then I'll be honest, in the school hit, wasn't on the radar, didn't get it done. So I think that's a great thing to share to parents though too, especially to distill down into like a little graphic and share out on social media. Look at all the stuff that we did. Thank you to those that participated and helped support these things, whether you donated time or money, because all of this was only available because of your help. So yeah, I think that's a really great thing to do to wrap a year.
Yeah. I think it's really smart. So, so I'm going to ask our audience this question first about what is their favorite thing about being involved in their PTO right now? And then I'm going to ask you, Karen, what's your favorite thing?
Oh, I love the people. I think right now I'm super excited because we have a brand new board and we're just in that getting to know you phase, and we haven't even had our first meet and greet person to person, but it's just that energy of new ideas. It's a change of the tide, like a new school year. I love the resets, the anticipation of summer and kind of planning ahead, but that's the part that keeps me coming back is those interpersonal connections. Love doing it for the kids. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the mission is obviously important, but if there wasn't something I was getting out of it as well, like then it wouldn't be what it is, I guess.
For sure.
How about for you?
Favorite thing about right now. I'm really enjoying my new administrative team that I get to work with at the high school. That could have gone really badly. Like, you don't know. I've had two other times I've had new principals, and one went okay and one did not. He's currently wrapping up his third and final year, the end of the contract, and I don't anticipate his contract will be renewed. And so, yeah, this year has been really awesome because of the principal, and it's like the head principal and then also the administrative principals. I've been really impressed by how much support they've given, casual and then, formal, where they've said it to me, and then informally their support through just like I was talking about planning after prom. And so I just emailed the principal and said, hey, can we get in like the day before and start to set up? And he goes, blocking the whole day. You have 2 full days to set up. And I was like, oh my gosh, my stress level went from like off the charts to here to manageable instantly. And I was like, you have no idea. And he goes, why not? He goes, I just kicked everybody out for testing so they can go to the other gym. So I was like, I love you. Because
huge.
I think I've talked about this, about working with a principal who I did not jive with. He's the problem because tons of people have problems with him, and he's no longer a building principal. But I thought that's what I was going to be dealing with, and then was pleasantly surprised when we had this new team come in, and they're just like really wonderful, and I cannot say enough nice things about them. And so it's really nice. So that's probably my favorite thing about being involved this year. And I guess I do like to have like the excitement of what's in for the possibilities of what's new, like what's upcoming this new year. But then I guess I never dig on myself too much when things don't pan out, because I think I have the best of intentions, like I believe you do. And so that it's still worthwhile acknowledging and celebrating and looking at, okay, what do you want to tweak, right, to improve? But it doesn't mean that it was a failure, or maybe it was a failure, but it doesn't mean you should quit. Like we've talked about quitting before. We're not quitters.
Not quitting. Bigger and better.
Yeah.
Edit and revise. Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody of this so that when you're thinking about it, you're not too down on yourself. Because I've also talked with some people here in my group, like locally, like there were some new leaders, and last year I was the PTA council president, and I did like a 3-year term. And so there was someone who was brand new, and I said, well, I saw her this year at an event. And I go, well, how's it going? She goes, well, I just, it's going okay, but I feel like I should know how to do all this already. And so she was like cutting on herself. And I was like, why? What? You're not this, there's so many things involved. There's HR issues, right? Not HR, but like interpersonal issues, like conflict management for sureties, event planning, money management, like nonprofit structure. Like those are all things people go to school for or have like full-time jobs that encompass those things. So I think it's kind of bananas for anybody to be like, oh, I should know it all. And I don't, so that I suck and that I shouldn't even try. It's like, oh, I just want to give them a hug. Be like, no.
No.
Not at all. So, okay. Well, this sounds like we've talked this issue out. Good conversation to have. So I hope you really enjoyed watching this video and that you will join Karen and I for the next one.
Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All these resources and more are waiting for you at ptoanswers.com.